Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic. Like I said before, I told you so. And it's not like I wanted to be right about this. But, you know, it is something that is now coming up and is being discussed. So, yesterday, you guys remember we talked about Cornerback 2 for the Ravens. And we talked about not only Rock Ya-Sin getting injured, but us being paper thin at the position. Now, with that all being said, I specifically pointed out that before training camp started, one of my top 3 worries for this team was the cornerback room. And a lot of people retorted to me, and I love that we have this banter with everybody, because as I told you, I like doing it, in the comments and on Twitter, telling me like, Nitro, calm down, we're fine. We have a lot of other people, Jalen Armour Davis, Pepe Le Pew. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those guys. So Jeff Zebrick, a question was asked to Jeff Zebrick, who is, of course, connected into the team. And somebody asked, and I'm going to read, what's your opinion on the Ravens bringing back Averett or Fuller? Also, do you think they could explore the trade market for cornerback at some point? The reason why that is crazy is because the team is always going to say, oh, yeah, we're great, we're good. When they talk about Cleveland, oh, yeah, he's great, he's good. But Cleveland is probably not going to make the team, right? But there's no problem with that. I'm going to read you what Jeff Zebrick responded with. He says, and I quote, I think they're going to have to bring in a vet QB at some point. Not sure whether Fuller is at from health standpoint. Averett struggled last year, has been banged up a lot, and has worked out for several teams. Not sure where he's at physically either, but they could definitely use the depth. That is somebody that is tied into the team telling you what I've been trying to tell y'all before we got to this point, before the injury and everything else. This is why I wanted back Marcus Peters. For all the people that are saying, oh, he was getting beat like a drum last year. He was coming back from injury. Context matters. Not everybody's Adrian Peterson in terms of the Superman after a major injury, right? A season-ending injury. So now, there aren't any real veteran cornerbacks on the market, and they're just going to have to roll the dice at that position, hoping that Rock Ya-Sin comes back to play. And even if he comes back to play, it wasn't like even in training camp, he was gangbusters. You know what they've been saying in training camp? They've been saying that the D-line, like I've been saying to the offensive line, has been dominating the O-line, and that Lamar has been sharp and has been dicing up the secondary, and Zay Flowers has been unstoppable for any cornerback lined up against him, and Aguilar has made big plays against any of the quarterbacks lined up against him, and so is OBJ. That's a problem. Look, you want them to be going back and forth in camp. That's why you have camp. There's supposed to be a healthy amount of testosterone-filled competitive fervor going on. That's what's supposed to be happening. But what's happening is the pass defense is getting absolutely blown to bits, specifically from the cornerbacks. Not so much from the safety, but from the cornerbacks. When they're lined up, no safety up or something like that, cook barbecue chicken, and he doesn't stop. So now Rock Ya-Sin wasn't playing great in training camp, and then he got hurt. And he was supposed to be the projected cornerback too. So now everyone's like, Jalen Armour Davis or whatever else it is. And you're having people coming out be like, look, they're going to need more depth. They're going to need more pieces. They're not playing well from that position. I'm just wondering, when are y'all going to stop doubting me? I tell y'all, I hope for the best, plan for the worst. This was a problem that we had last year. We had that problem before Marcus Peters came back. We were giving up a lot of points in that fourth quarter through the air. If I'm not mistaken, we led the league in most 10-plus yard plays in a game. We led the league. That means if it was 10 or more yards, the Ravens was giving it up. And we were giving it up in the most inopportune times on top of it to make it worse. It wasn't like we were giving it up at the beginning of the game, then adjusting, and then kind of slowing it down as the game went on. But here's the thing. This is the flip side to that argument of what I just said. If the pass defense is playing this bad, equally can be said how great the defensive line has looked. And that would mean that we would be playing a lot of 4-down linemen and just back everybody else up in the coverage, hoping that those guys can get turnovers or force bad throws into a waiting cornerback's hand. That means zone coverage. They're not going to be looking to be man unless you man up maybe, Marlin in the slot against a tight end or one of the, top slot receivers. Because, when you get the third down, a lot of times they put their best receiver in the slot. And they say, go to work. Because usually it's a mismatch against either the safety or the linebacker. So these are all things that we're going to have to look at. I'm hoping that they get everything rectified. Make no mistake about it. As much as I'm saying I'm right, I did not want to be right about this. I just knew it because I study what it is. I study film. I watch this team intently. I went over film this summer looking at some of the breakdowns that we had in pass coverage. And it wasn't just because, I know some people will be because we weren't getting any pressure. No, there were times when we were getting pressure and they were still giving up. There was just bad positioning, bad fundamentals, bad footwork. Some of these guys were getting beat. As soon as the ball was snapped, they were already out of position. Already. This is something that we have to watch. Because I heard somebody say we're probably going to be a defense that's bend but don't break, meaning we'll give up a lot of yards, but we'll stop you at the 20-yard line once we're in the red zone. I wouldn't mind that per se, but once again, anything can happen because the league is becoming more explosive right before our eyes. These receivers are becoming more explosive right before our eyes, and these rules do not benefit the defense. If you got explosive guys that can get separation, guys that can make you miss, guys that can get the jump ball, guys that got good hands, the red zone becomes their play area. So I don't want to be a defense that's bend but don't break, because realistically speaking, let's be real, that's not going to bode well for us when we get into the playoffs. I'd rather be a team that gets a lot of turnovers and might give up yards. That's the other way. Well, we'll give up some plays, but we're getting a lot of turnovers. I'd rather that. Give the offense more times with the ball, right? I'd rather that than bend don't break and just pray to God that, they don't score. You know what I'm saying? But what do you guys think? Do you think that, we should go out there and get a veteran cornerback? Do you think that this room is okay and we just leave it as it is? And do you think that we should have actually re-signed Marcus Peters and we're going to end up regretting not re-signing him? Let me know down in the comment section what you think about that, all right? But that's another episode of The Wonder Kid Show! Thank you for watching. You know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, that notification bell, leave a comment. I love the comments. And if you would like to help out this channel, if you would like more content, subscribe to the Wunderkind Patreon. It is up and going, 3 tiers. I'm telling you, it's great. It's amazing. A lot of extra content. There's going to be fantasy football and other things that go along with it. Give it a check. Let me know what you think. It's definitely worth it. And if you would like to donate to this channel, there's super thanks, of course. But at the bottom of this the channel right here on this side is a QR code. QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of the Cash App is $, The Wunderkind Show. Easy. So once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This show is Nitro signing off. And as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp.